You gonna get wet.
Yeah, I'm gonna get wet.
Good news is, though, we didn't have any damaging weather.
No bad stuff last night.
Yeah, look at the rain gauge when you come by, see how much water we got in it. Please.
Yes, ma'am.
So how much rain was in the rain gauge?
About 1.6, probably almost 1.7. It was definitely
inches.
Inches, that's right.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's good. That's a nice soaking rain. I won't have to go water or anything.
No,
you won't have to go water or anything. We're good for 5 to 7 days now.
Everything got nice and wet.
You know, Panther does not love the camera, but he is on his heating pad. It's almost 60 degrees out here this morning. Creek doesn't look like it's raging, although I can see runoff water up there in the woods coming down from the road, so the air feels refreshing out here this morning. Let's call it refreshing. I thought before we got busy in the garage, I would go ahead and do bag 5, which is all the fun interior stuff, including Barney and Betty. Doing Legos, I'm in the middle of my time lapse. You know, Elon had that tweet yesterday, and I'm going to try to stay off of the super controversial side of Elon's Free America Now tweet, except to say that I wish that he had put all of his ideas out there and not just the one-liner that folks could use against him. I'll just leave it there. Yeah. I respect his opinion. I think I get where he's coming from better than some of these other people. If you have the whole context. Because I've seen some sites that have picked the absolute most worst picture of him ever, like they do Trump sometimes, like they did Obama sometimes. Yeah, absolutely. And they have put clickbait crap out there, and it pains me. It pains me for him, because I think I know where he was coming from, and it wasn't this bad I want to kill people thing that he's being made out to.
I'm a greedy capitalist, and I want to kill people.
Right. Yeah. But I want to say something. I think that Elon is going to choose the next gigafactory, the one for America, where like North Carolina would love to get it, and Texas, Austin is in the running, and some other places too that I'm not sure we know what even all of them are. He's going to pick a state that will let him stay in business more readily than some of the states that are on such a tight lockdown that he can't do a thing because he's frustrated. Right. So I think Texas is looking better, because I think they're one of the states that's more willing to open up. Plus, they have all that space out there. They're not as cram-packed in as, say, up near Fremont is, where the population is so dense, they're more likely to get in trouble with the virus like New York City did. Anyway, so I said that. I said, I think Texas is looking better now, Donnie. I think Elon's going to want to go to Texas because the political environment favors his ability to do his business. And I will add that, you know, and having read Elon's autobiography, or not autobiography, but his biography, and having read some other background information on him, he gives to both sides of the political spectrum. He picks individuals he likes, and he tries to spread his political donations around. He does not only give to the Democratic Party or the Republican or whatever. So I think he set himself up to be able to be moderate and sort of swing both ways so that he can manage his business better. That's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. Of course, I'd like him to give all of his money to the candidate I like, but I respect where he's coming from and why he's doing what he's done. But when I said Texas, then Don added in one important caveat. He's been listening to Rob Maurer this morning about yesterday's financials. And what did you add in?
Right. Well, Rob said, because Elon basically said Battery Day is tentatively third week of May, will be either in California or Texas. A lot of people have jumped on the Texas, meaning that's going to, and he also mentioned that he's within the next 3 months they will announce where the U.S. factory. So between the 3 month and then the Battery Day and the Texas type thing, some of the media, not Rob, is jumping on Texas as the next location. I had told Marianne in the past that the only reason Texas wouldn't get this is pre-pandemic, is that Texas dealership laws are very restrictive. Texas, like Tesla can't sell cars in Texas. They have to do a two-step. But I need to say that Texas, my brother-in-law and my sister lived in Texas. I have bought a car in Texas, but it's so long ago I don't remember the finer details. But in Texas, to buy a car, you have to do fun and games. It's not, you would think it would be a very straightforward process, but there's a, I told Marianne it's like a Texas two-step you have to do. It's like you have to hold your nose and go through this process. But I don't want to get down in that. My point is, this pandemic thing could trump or override his unwillingness to go to Texas because of the dealership laws. In other words, the freedom of pandemic to operate the business the way he wants to operate the business, even if he can't sell the cars he builds in Texas, it might override it. So she could very well be right that Texas is now is significantly higher on the list because he feels like he can do the things. And I need to say, I in no way do I believe Elon is doing this because he's worrying about he wants to make his payday, or he needs another $50 billion of personal wealth. I do not believe Elon is motivated in the slightest by profit making money. I believe his frustration is, as the first mover, the real true first mover in electric cars and the market leader in this window where he's the only one building 1,000 electric cars a day and selling every one that he can build. Nobody else can do that. There's people building electric cars, but they're not selling every one they can build. And nobody has any plans, not the iPace, not the Qtron, not the Taycan. Nobody has any inkling that they want to increase production in any way right now. If they ever had a thought of increasing production, they have shelved it. Tesla made it very clear on the earnings call, man, Elon said, pedal to the metal in expansion. So this shutdown, this forced shutdown, is absolutely hurting him more, or hurting Tesla and the adoption and his goals more than anybody else. Ford, made a big point that their engineers are working at home and they're doing this. It's not going to slip. It's not going to affect them or anything in the their E-Stang is still on track and all that stuff, because they're basically doing office work. They're not turning nuts and bolts like Elon needs to be turning nuts and bolts, and this stops the nuts and bolts turning, and that's where his frustration is. And I totally understand, because he is losing this incredible window that he has as the only game in town. He's the only thing in town. Nobody else has anything to offer, and so the sky's the limit. He could sell every car he could possibly produce, and the problem is, because of the shutdown, he can't produce any cars.
Yeah, I can certainly understand why he is frustrated. And I also do not believe for a minute his comment, that tweet, was motivated by greed, profit for him, or a lack of caring about his employees. I don't believe that for a minute. And I actually, Don doesn't pay too close attention to Facebook because I read him everything he needs to know.
Pretty much.
But there was one news site this morning, and I got into a little bit of a tiff with a couple people out, because I'm just not going to let them say they know nothing and they're talking. Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
Right. Again,
they're being led by the media. They
right.
were blindly see this picture of him and the clickbait, and then they just accept that as gospel, and it's not. It's just not. They just don't know.
Yep.
All right, I'm done with bag 5. We added the bowling pins and bowling ball, a lamp. Of course, I've got Barney and Betty here. The Shell telephone, TV set, little fruit bowl, the couch, the curtains. I saw those coming. The little wall mounting plaques. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. So the last bag 6, which I'll probably do tomorrow, is the roof. All I'm going to move Ruby out of the garage. Gray and Slate are just kind of hanging. It's all wet out here on the ground, so they tend to stay on the platform a little bit more when the ground is wet. At least Slate does. Gray's up there a good bit anyway. I think I'll go do my environmental park Pokemon, and then I'll park Ruby under the carport so we can get busy out here. Good afternoon, Ruby. Well, the rain isn't keeping people out of the park today. All right, 4 times in a row of river rush. That's enough for me. Oh, my heart rate's up. Guess that's my next cleaning opportunity. Won't take long. So we decided, after talking it over, to just put a piece of wood on top of this, I don't know, storage thing. And we'll set the Xbox and the Wii up there. You know, Don was prepared to build a shelf and put it here beside the TV, and I was like, you know, I don't think we got to be that fancy with it. I think this will look neat. I think you can tidy up the wires, and it gives us a lot of flexibility in changing our mind if something's not working out, and so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I agree. That's what we're doing.
So Don is hunting a pull string for that light so that we can turn off just that one light when we're playing or wanting to see the TV. And I've got the floor over here all cleaned up and ready to go. Well, Don still plans to tweak it some more, but for now, it's good to go. This is Don's virtual Tesla meetup position and snacks. So I came out to the garage because Don said, hey, you know, we could Chromecast, Zoom, or whatever up on the big TV. And I thought, well, I'll go to the garage so we can talk. And there's Don. He's moving his computer around a lot, but there he is up there. So it works fine. Yeah, obviously you got to come in through the browser. For me, Chrome on my MacBook. And
right.
But yeah, it works. That's cool. We certainly could do that. Now you're upside down. So it works, Donnie. You were right. It works, silly boy. It works. I have company while I'm out here with the Wii. Okay. I'm stepping on. I'm just checking it works after we did what we did, and it's, of course, fine. We had the 360 on, but not this. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming and keeping me company. Yep, they didn't quite know what to make of me being in the garage. Come on, guys.